Hey, didn't see you there. My name is Runner, and today we're going to be going through the Drag Race Holi-slay Spectacular. For anyone who doesn't know, the Holi-slay Spectacular was a Drag Race Christmas special that aired in 2018. This is probably the most unhinged, scary, frightening, disturbing episode of Drag Race that there is. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Christmas vibes as I walk you through the Drag Race Holi-slay Spectacular. So with that out of the way, let's get right into the— oh, Jesus f***ing Christ. So we start out with the entrances, and this is probably the most normal part of the entire special. So this is the time where you can bathe in the crisp waters of your sanity before the absolute chaos that comes later on. This is probably the part of the special which I enjoy the most. All of the interactions are very natural between the queens. It's all very nice and playful and fun. Probably what this special should have been if they wanted it to be good.
I am very excited to be here for the first ever
and last ever
RuPaul's Drag Race Christmas Queen Extravaganza.
Also, Christmas Queen Extravaganza? Someone lied to her several times because nowhere else in the special does it ever mention the Christmas Queen Extravaganza. Anyway, so Trixie's here, but I have nothing more to say about this, so bring on the next one.
Get those chestnuts away from my face!
So Latrice now enters the workroom. This is where we hear the sound that God intended for no man, woman, or anything in between to hear. Trixie and Latrice laughing together. So next, Eureka walks into the room, and she's actually looking extremely amazing here. Next, the winner of the special, Mayhem, walks into the room, and she goes over to meet the other queens, and whoa! If you listen very closely during this moment, you can actually hear the screenshots of every single 14-year-old Stan Twitter lesbian's phone right now. Hey, you should totally subscribe to my channel. I make lots of cool stuff, just like this video that you're watching now. I've made this, and I've made this, and you can totally subscribe, and then I'll make more, and then it's actually a really cool thing. If you subscribe, I'll make more, and like that's a really cool relationship that we can have, so you should better fucking do it. So next we have Kylie.
Looks like you were naughty this year, because you got a bad bitch for Christmas.
Queen of entrance lines, and queen of my heart, and queen of two of hearts, and queen... Okay, so I'm gonna be serious for a quick moment, and if I'm being serious, it means that you should fucking listen up, because I'm not serious very often, so like this is your one and only time to listen, so fucking unplug those ears, or put your earphones in, plug them again. But if you don't like this special, which, you know, is quite a valid opinion to have, I'm not gonna lie, I think you can at least appreciate that this was the episode which introduced Kylie Sonique Love to the Drag Race audience again, and I think that this was one of the main reasons why she was brought back on All Stars 6 and was given the opportunity to win. Kimchi comes in, and this is probably the closest we'll ever get to having Kimchi on an All Star season, so soak this up. Soak what up? Some of that sweat on that forehead. Fuck you. Next we have Jasmine, and I absolutely love how Jasmine can come in something that's not, you know, it's not, other than the fur that she takes off in the first 2 seconds of her entering the room, this is probably not the most Christmassy of the outfits that we're seeing today. Jasmine is probably the only person who could wear this, and I'm still 110% down to believe in this fantasy that this is Christmas. So Shangela's in the door next, and her dress actually lights up, which is crazy, and I actually wouldn't blame you if you didn't realize that it lights up, because production didn't do anything to allow us to see this. They didn't turn on the lights, they didn't do anything, and probably that's just because production likes screwing over Shangela, I don't know. And also, production missed the most obvious opportunity to have Shangela come out of a fucking box right now, like a present box. Like, I know that she did like a little present, but I'm talking like proper, there's loads of presents around the fucking set. Take one of them and put Shangela in, and then she can like do a little cartwheel or something out of it. I should produce this show. I know that people are calling for it all the time, but like, this should be my Drag Race. Like, I should be the one. I should be RuPaul. Replace me, okay? Stop the tapes. This is the moment. This is the point where the absolute fuckery of this special begins. If you thought it was kind of bullshit up until now, you haven't seen anything. This is the point where the viewer realizes that all of the promotional material that they had seen for this, all of the trailers that they have seen for it, were just fucking lies. You see, this episode isn't actually just a special once-off Christmas thing where all the queens get to participate in a Christmas challenge and they get to joke around and just have a good time. There's no stakes, no nothing. No, because that actually would have been good. You see, this episode is actually a scripted musical acting challenge that's main purpose is to give the viewer ego death. So I hope that you've left your sanity at the door, because this is where the special goes completely off the fucking rails. So the queens do a little scripted dance challenge with some random furries that they got in off the street, and Mayhem wins. And in this process, Shangela lost another dance competition. That's gotta hurt. So next thing we know, the queens are doing their makeup at the mirror, and we actually get this really touching moment with Mayhem where she gets to talk a bit about her childhood trauma when it comes to Christmas.
Those foolish choices did not hurt anybody.
But seriously, this part comes out of fucking nowhere. It's so jarring. They're just randomly talking about some shit at the mirror, and then they just start like doing the little fucking sway dance. Probably what's even more jarring is that right after this, we're brought to some like LSD-induced Russian sleep experiment nightmare. This is why straight people want to take our rights away, and honestly at this point, I don't even blame them. And keep in mind throughout all of this that this episode was directed by the same man who directed the Moulin Rouge episode in season 14. The same fucking episode. So Bruno's holding the box down by his, and then like a dick in a box, but then Ross Matthews pops out. So is he in the box? Or, I have so many questions, and I want none of them answered. So after this, it's revealed that this was all a dream that they all simultaneously had together.
Did we all just imagine that together?
Maybe this is just the gay version of Inception, and I'm just too dumb. I'm just not smart enough. I'm sorry. I'm admitting defeat to this fucking special. I'm too dumb for this special. Because there's no way that this was actually there's no way that this was put on our screens, and that the producers, the people who made it, who were like, this is gonna be great TV. People are gonna love this. People are gonna watch it, and it's gonna be great. So now we're brought to the main stage, and we're introduced to this week's main judges, Hates Green, Dom Top, and...
I think it was a cutesy audition. Voice-wise, I'm not jumping out my chair.
So apparently the main challenge this week is a dance number. Don't ask me why this is like a proper challenge, but the weird fever dream thing that just happened was not anything, and it just happened out of nowhere, and there was absolutely no explanation. I don't know. I have as many questions as you do. So they do a little dance, whatever. But fun fact about this dance is that when the queens were signing up to do this special, the producers never fucking told them they'd have to learn this complicated choreography. They fucking lied to them, and they didn't say anything about it.
We were blindsided about a lot of things that we were doing, learning the song, the different routines, all that stuff was absolutely right. We were blindsided. Right.
So it's comforting to know that it wasn't only the audience that got duped by the producers, but also the queens themselves. So the dancers do their little dance thing, and you didn't hear this from me, but rumor has it to this day, these dancers are still waiting to get paid by Touch. So let's get done with this fucking dance shit. Let's go on to the runways. And honestly, the runways, along with the entrances, are probably the only parts of this special that I actually really enjoy, unironically. A lot of the queens put a lot of effort into these runways, which is really sad because most viewers had probably turned off this special by now, but listen, I'm here, and I'm here to appreciate it. So after the runway, the queens are sent backstage while the judges deliberate about who deserves to be the Christmas queen or whatever it was called. I honestly don't remember at this point. But because this episode is trying to keep up the cheer, they just give positive critiques all the time. There's actually no actual critiques for any of this. It's just fake, flowery bullshit. It's kind of like watching All-Star 7 all over again. You know what? This is getting kind of boring. Let's go see what the queens are doing backstage in Untucked. I like Untucked, it's pretty interesting. There's often fight stuff. I wonder what's happening. Let's go check it out. 'Tis the season to be jolly. What the fuck? So the queens are singing Christmas carols, I guess. It's weird. They start out actually singing, and then it kind of transforms into having this overlay track of this woman in auto-tune singing. It sounds like a fucking slowed and reverb song from Cher's ABBA album. What are we listening to? So after whatever that was, we get to go back to the main stage, and the queens get to lip sync for the crown. And I was gonna say how crazy it is that we have 10 queens lip syncing for the crown, but honestly in season 14 we had 5 queens in the finale, so this just seems like a natural progression, I guess. So first off, we have Mayhem versus Kylie, and honestly, Mayhem did not have to go this hard. There was nothing on the line. Mayhem was fighting like she thought that All-Stars rules were still in place and that she was gonna win $10,000 after this. But no, she got nothing, but she entertained us, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Mayhem, for trying to make this special somewhat decent. So next off, we have Shangela versus Jasmine, and contrary to popular belief, this actually is Jasmine. This is not a body double. This is actually Jasmine lip syncing the song. You see, there's a bit of behind the scenes tea behind these two's relationship, because apparently Jasmine had some problems with Shangela showing up late to set, and after she confronted her about it, Shangela was uncharacteristically defensive about it. And this caused Jasmine to storm off the set, never to come back. And if you actually pay attention in the special, you realize that Jasmine is in like none of the confessionals throughout the entire episode. And that's because Jasmine actually didn't come back to film them. So that's just a little bit of history for this lip sync here, which I find incredibly interesting. So with that in mind, this lip sync actually has an added layer of complexity if you think about it. The way that I like to watch this lip sync is that I like to imagine that producers knew that Shangela and Jasmine were fighting a little and that they purposely pit them together in this lip sync as an inside joke. At least that's what I need to think in order to keep me engaged in this goddamn special. Let's go on to the next one. So next we have Trixie versus Eureka, and honestly this is kind of a cute lip sync with lots of cute moments in it, and Trixie didn't stand out like a sore thumb, which is also an added bonus. And after that we have Latrice versus Kimchi, and honestly I'm starting to enjoy this special a lot more now that the lip syncs have started. I feel like Scrooge, like I'm finally starting to understand the true meaning of Christmas. It's not about things being good, and it's not about things needing a reason to exist. Maybe, just like life,
Congratulations.
it's not about achieving anything. It's actually just about enjoying yourself and having fun. No one won? Are you fucking kidding me? I watched 40 minutes of fucking musicals and acting challenges and no one even fucking won at the end of it. You know what? It's fine. I don't care. What else could they possibly throw at me now? I feel like we're at the bedrock and there's nowhere else to go but up. We're below bedrock. We're below bedrock. How did we get here? What's happening? How did we started out with just nice little entrances and nice little greetings, and here we are. How did we get this far down? How? Okay, enough of the act. I know that people hate this lip sync. Like this is, I think that for a lot of people, this was the nail in the coffin, the kind of, it's not gonna get any better. I think some people were holding out hope that, oh no, eventually it would get good, and it just never did. And I think that this was the defining moment that made people realize that. And I understand that, believe me, I really do. But listen, I have a dumb sense of humor, and I kind of enjoy this lip sync. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it bad? Yes. But the thing is that the whole special is just really bad and boring. But this is the first part of the special, which is bad, but it's so bad that it's kind of good. Like we've gone beneath bedrock, and we're starting to kind of come up again on the other side of the earth, if that makes sense. Like this is getting good. It's stupid and it's dumb, but it's fun to watch. Like this is probably the first time in the entire special that a joke that was supposed to be funny has actually landed. Round of applause for the writers of this special. Thank God. You guys did an amazing job. And by amazing, I meant with this one lip sync joke. Everything else was awful, but good job on at least succeeding somewhere. So yes, this was the Holi-slay Spectacular. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I had a great time making it. It was something a bit different than usual. Please comment because it makes me very happy. Please like because it also makes me very happy. And do whatever else you want to do. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram. You can follow those too. But thank you so much for tuning in for this episode. It was a great time. Love you. Oh God, I just said I love you. I can't take that back. Whatever. We love each other now. Baby. I forgot this is my thing. This is my thing. Our thing. Bye.